Hello and welcome to Botanical Living with Kim. The holidays are just around the corner and this time of year can really bring on the stress. So today I would like to share 8 amazing ideas on how to minimize your holiday associated stress. Thank you for joining me at Botanical Living with Kim. The holidays are just around the corner, and while we should be having excitement and happiness associated with the holidays, sometimes there's also a lot of stress, whether it's just situational, whether it has to do with family dynamics, whether it's finances, you name it, there's a lot of stress this time of year. But I would really like to share 8 ideas for how to minimize your stress and help make this a magical time of the year. Let's jump right into these 8 suggestions. Okay, number 1, be realistic. That's my first suggestion. Let go of the idea of perfection. Sure, the Hallmark Channel makes everything look photo perfect, and the reality is real life is a little messier. If you decorate, be happy with what you put up. Someone's always going to do more. Someone's always going to do less. It doesn't really matter. Just enjoy the process, let go of the idea of perfection being a necessity, and have fun with it. Number 2, plan ahead. Are you hosting luncheons or dinners or parties at your house? If you are, don't be afraid to ask for help. Just look around, see who's willing to give you a helping hand, and ask them. Maybe you need to cook the holiday meal. Maybe you're going to somebody's house. Look and see if they need some help, if you want to. Never feel obligated to help out, but if you have it in you, offer to help somebody. Number 3, focus on the present. When we get around the holiday time, old wounds, old memories, old feelings can sometimes bubble up, and that creates some undue stresses in our bodies and in our mind. And so if you get yourself caught on that and thinking about sadness of the past or the nostalgia attached to it, just remember, try to stay in the present. Do whatever you need to do, whether it's come into your sacred space, we talked about this before, and just relax. Maybe you need to take a bubble bath. Maybe you need to light some candles or some incense. Whatever you need to do, you want to stay in the present. That way, when those old thoughts come up, maybe you can push them aside. And also, part 2 of this number is be prepared with something. So maybe when you've got a big family gathering, if people start gossiping or getting into old behaviors that you don't want to have present at this year's get-togethers, suggest a game. Games have a really great way of bringing people together and just lightening the load. So at the end of these 8 suggestions, stay tuned for the bonus, because I'm going to give you a list of a few games that are really, really fun and sure to get the happiness going at any get-together. Number 4, set boundaries. This is really an extension of number 3, but again, family especially can bring up old feelings and old patterns. And so a great way to get yourself through that is to determine ahead of time what your boundaries are. Now remember, we can't really control how somebody else behaves, but we can control ourselves and we can control what we are willing to be a part of. So if a conversation comes up and you know ahead of time, that's a boundary. That's a line I'm not going into. You can politely excuse yourself and walk away from the situation. That's going to save some of your sanity right there. Number 5, moderation. Moderation is key. Whether you're talking about time spent with people or food and drinks, you want to control the moderation, and only you can control that. So think about that with food. The holidays are filled with tasty, wonderful things. I know I'll probably overindulge on mashed potatoes and stuffing because those are my very favorite parts of the holiday meals. But you want to try to keep in mind how you normally eat and try to stick to your basic regimen. That way when you add a little more of the rich food or the rich drinks in, you won't be so overwhelmed physically. And if you do start getting taxed in the belly, remember, probiotics are your friend. They help keep that gut flora healthy. And also, this is where herbal bitters come in. They really help your liver to digest and break down those really rich foods. So that is definitely something to think about. Number 6, nurture yourself. Even though the holidays are super busy because we're trying to prepare all of these wonderful things and it goes on for several weeks this time of year, you deserve and you're allowed to take time to nurture yourself. So if you catch yourself feeling a little keyed up or a little tense or your mind's in 50 places and you can't seem to focus like you would like to, recognize that and take a little step away. If that means getting outside and taking a walk around your neighborhood just to get some fresh air, if that means soaking in a nice warm tub, if that means curling up on the couch for 30 minutes and reading a book or just taking a nap, whatever it is you need to do for yourself, just do it. And don't feel guilty about it. If you want to sneak away and get a massage, you absolutely deserve that. You're probably noticing by now a mental health trend in all of these holiday survival tips. And there's a really good reason for that, because we often get so keyed up in the stress of the moment that we don't allow ourselves to enjoy the moment. And I'm really hoping to encourage you and help facilitate enjoyment this holiday season, taking some of the stress out. So that leads me to number 7, which is own your emotions. So what do I mean by that? Well, you don't have to give up your self-control. You might have a lot of stuff going on in the surrounding holiday feeling. Maybe you feel lonely. Maybe you feel sad. Maybe you're angry at somebody this time of year. Whatever it is, if you need to cry or vent or get angry or whatever, go ahead and do it. I mean, you don't have to rain on everybody else's parade, but maybe take a little bit of time, go inside of yourself if you need to, or talk to a trusted friend, or journal, whatever your method is, but get it out, let yourself have that moment, and then remind yourself that you are a totally amazing person. You've got this, you're in control of yourself, and you're gonna be just fine. Now we come to number 8, and that is look for the smiles. It's the holidays. Enjoy them. Put a smile on your face and just have a healthy, happy gratitude in your heart, and you will spread cheer to other people, and in return you'll get that back. You know, what we put out, we tend to get in return, and that's so true. If you're driving around and you're in a cruddy mood, you're gonna hit every stoplight or things are gonna happen. But if you're positive, typically good things happen as well. So we have to remember not everyone's happy around the holidays, and although this video is specifically focused on keeping mentally positive and surviving family and all the basic holiday stressors, bear in mind that sometimes we will also encounter people that are just really down and out around the holiday time. And it's good to give them a smile as well and suggest to people there's always help out there. They're not alone if they need that. But basically, I just want to encourage you to smile, because a smile can go a long way to boost your mood and boost the mood of the people that you encounter. Okay, here it is, bonus time. I told you earlier in the video that I was going to give you some game ideas so that you can break these out at your holiday get-togethers or parties or luncheons or whatever you're doing. And you can use this as a icebreaker. You can use this if the conversations start to get stale or going in a direction of negativity that you don't want to participate in. Or maybe you just want to have some fun with your family and friends. So here's some games. These are in no particular order, and I'm not endorsed by any of these products. These are just games that my family enjoys, and I want to share them with you in case you haven't thought of these ones yet. So the first one, not necessarily appropriate for small children, but my older teenagers, when they were teenagers, enjoyed it. And of course, we enjoy it as adults and to play with our friends. A little raunchy, but super fun anyway. Cards Against Humanity. Really fun game. Okay, next one, catchphrase. There's different ones of these little dials, but if you haven't played it before, this is really fun. There's different categories, and you can play on teams. You can do boys against girls. You could do couples against couples. You could do every man for themselves. It doesn't matter, but you've got a certain amount of time, and you're trying to get somebody to answer the question. Really, really fun. Okay, Taboo. I've literally had this particular game box of Taboo since I was in high school. So it's older, but this is a super fun game. And again, you could play this as couples. You could play this, teams versus teams. You can play it individual. Well, you can't really play it individually. What you're trying to do is get your partner or your team to guess your clue without saying the word on the card, and you've got a buzzer. It's a super fun game. Okay, this is a newer game. We just got this at the beginning of this year when we were planning on having game night, and then COVID happened, and so we only had like 2 game nights. But it was fun when we played it, and we played this with a whole group of people. I think there was 10 of us together, and you're kind of playing for yourself, but you're trying to get all these people to answer questions and say, how well do you know me? And they have to figure out things about you. And it's actually extremely funny and really fun. Another super simple game to play is left, right, center. And this is a dice game. And so you get in a big circle. And we've played this at my husband's family's get-togethers with like 40 people. And we're all in a big circle. And you can do it just with the little tokens. It's really fun to play if you want to do a little kind of gambling game. Everybody starts with dollar bills. You've got $1 for your left, $1 for your center, and $1 for your right. And so depending on how the dice come up, you're either giving a dollar bill to the person to the left of you, one to the right of you, or sometimes you keep it, or sometimes you have to throw it in the center. At the very end, everybody ends up getting eliminated and one person wins. And that one person, if you're playing with money, could win some good money, but it's a cheap little gambling game. Another things to have on hands, we are big card players in our family. We like to play poker, we like to play canasta, we like to play euchre. There's lots of games. We like to play rummy or gin. So super fun games. If you've got too many people and you don't want everybody at the same table with that, you can split up into multiple tables. But those are just some really fun, simple games to play. And I would really encourage it. Game playing is really fun. Scrabble's fun. No, Scrabble. Pictionary is fun, or Scattergories is fun. I do have those boxes, but I forgot to bring them in here. But you can do Pictionary, but on a big whiteboard or a chalkboard, and do teams that way. Lots of fun things. And it gets kind of people out of their shell of just basic stuff that they're normally used to doing. And it gets you lively and moving around after you've eaten, so you're not feeling so heavy. So anyway, games. That's my bonus for you. So there you have it. There's my 8 ideas to have a stress-free holiday with the bonus ideas of game playing. I want to thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't already done so, please click the subscribe button now and be sure to click on the little bell. That way you get updates anytime I do a new video, which is usually twice a week. Take a second and hit the thumbs up for me. If you have any questions for me, I would love to hear from you. So please feel free to ask questions down in the comments or leave me a positive comment if you would like to. As always, please feel free to share this with your family and friends. I would love to have Botanical Living with Kim continue to spread and reach more people. I wish you happiness, health, and a beautiful day. And most of all, a stress-free holiday. Take care.